I've liked it. I've liked the stuff that's going on off ice. The compete skating drill we started the day with, and just a really hard practice. We're just competing and trying to set the bar high.
Noticeable right away the groups. I mean, essentially, you have your NHL team together on day one, and that's not always the case in training camps. What kind of statement are you making to everybody doing that?
We've got some stuff we want to change. So putting those groups together is important for us. I've addressed that. Tomorrow, the day after, we're gonna scrimmage on Saturday, and obviously, things will change. But to try to kickstart where we want to get to, we just felt it was important to, if we're going to compete against the top guys, it'll make us better. If we're going to, try to learn from those couple of drills we did on the teaching front, it's better that, it's all NHL guys, and we want our AHL team to be in the same category.
And no pucks early, was that a message too, I guess? Just getting it.
On our kind of the competitive skate there at the start.
Yeah.
That's just it's a competitive drill that I've done for a long time with different teams. Done it here before, and would have loved to have done it last year. But the fact we were leaving early for Europe kind of forced our hand a little bit.
I know maybe it's kind of a trite question, but I mean, I remember in the past, just a long time ago, you said you had like your skates on at like 6 a.m. or something. Just like how excited?
I was still up really early. I just didn't put my skates on that early. I seriously was I probably left my house by 5. So yeah, still excited. I mean, I was excited where all our off-ice fitness was in a good place yesterday, and really wanted to see the on-ice, what it would look like, some of our guys. And, I like, the first day, I like what happened yesterday, and I was excited to get out there and get with the group.
What type of stuff are you trying to change?
I'll share, just giving up less opportunities. Talked about we've got to be a better defensive team. So we have made some structural changes to how we want to play. How we want to defend in the second period. We want to change. And we're going to start that from day one at camp. And I know it's a huge process to, let's say we want to try to cut our goals against by 40 or 50. It's something that I think is going to be really important for our club.
Systems-wise, is it more like you mentioned, the players better now? Is it maybe adjusting to some things that they do well, or?
Yeah, I think that is part of it. I think we're long. Like we've got big, we got length with the size in that back end. We've got speed. I think it's more about taking more ice away, making sure lanes are filled. Just make it harder on the opposition to get inside our zone. And then we've got a lot of rules that are going to, if we do force more dump ins where we don't allow the high percentage carry, where majority of those turn into a better opportunity, how are we going to break out off of that?
How involved is the new strength and conditioning team with the on-ice workouts and planning those?
All those metrics have really changed. So you evaluate. A part of our strength and conditioning is evaluating how hard those drills are we did. They'll all get ranked like a red, a green, a yellow. So when we go into the season and we have a week of 4 games in 6 days, we know that we can only maybe have one red drill, a couple green, and a yellow, so we don't overtax our players. I think that technology is really important.
When you were meeting, just coaches meetings with other teams' coaches in the summer and chatter and that, I mean, how much was talked about that you're not going to be able to do fitness tests anymore in camp starting next year?
Well, they just turn into fitness drills then. They're not tests. Just fitness drills.
But things like the
I In some ways, I'm disappointed because I just think it's a competition. Everybody in that room is an athlete, and I think it's healthy competition. It pushes you. You don't want to be that guy typically when you're being tested. That is at the bottom of the. And we kind of had sort of a neat process this year where it was divvied up and the competition was teams were kind of picked and the fitness level was being evaluated as a competition, which in some ways was fun. In some ways it really pushed guys to go all out.
Anyone stand out or surprise you in the fitness portion?
There was a lot of guys that I'm really impressed with to start with. I'll even like a guy like Norris, who's probably the first time he's been able to spend the whole summer training. Like his level of fitness, I would use that. But there's more than one. Like Jack Quinn's fitness level is really at a good level. But there's others. So it was a hard challenge after last year to say we need to get ourselves to a better place. And right now I don't think there's anyone. I'll just say there's not anyone that has disappointed our fitness guys or coaching staff.
Mason Gertson, you had him for a full year with the Devils. Has he played forward before, or was he
Played forward for me in New Jersey.
Okay, but he's a natural defenseman, right? I think.
Yeah. He played. He's a little bit like me. Play a little wing, play a little D.
What role?
He's muscle, but what role do you envision for him? I guess.
He's just he's an enforcer. He's a well-conditioned athlete too. I don't know if you had an eye on him during the opening skate. Those first couple bouts, he outskated Bryson. When I talked to him this summer, I just said, I need you to get in incredibly good shape if we're going to use you, like where you can skate and you can play. And he said, I'll promise you I'll be in the best possible shape I can get into, and I think he has.
What's that feeling for you when you send everybody home, after the season's over and say, like, conditioning, this is what we need, and everybody comes back and it seems like the message is received. Everybody's ready.
It just tells you that they're all. We were all disappointed where we ended up, and there was areas identified that I think were important for us to be a better club, from coaches all the way down to players. That's changed some things. Some of the way we played helped us. I looked at it this way. There's not many teams that have a 44 goal scorer, a 37, a couple 20 goal scorers. The goals, we scored enough goals. The end we didn't defend well enough. And then I thought we broke down in games. So is that breaking down, is that some of that conditioning? I thought part of it was that we needed to get to a higher level.
Mentioned Jack Quinn's fitness is in a really good spot. I'm curious how you've seen it translate to the ice. He was bouncing back from a couple real significant injuries there. Like, where do you feel his skating's at?
I think his skating's at a real good place right now. And I'm evaluating on one day, but I'm evaluating. Those guys have been skating. So you have a good feeling before camp starts where everybody's at. And just I like even Owen Power looks stronger, looks faster. And we're judging it on small, but we're looking at an overall conditioning level that I think is greater, and the guys have bought into it. And I got to give them all the credit. They put the work in, and I think our fitness guys stayed on top of them all summer. I'll share. I got a video this summer of Jack deadlifting a whole bunch of weight, like a lot. And for me, that was like late June. So he bought into it. He trained hard this summer.
Josh Norris, what does he need to do in training camp to really set a good foundation for himself for the start of the season?
I think first is be healthy. I think you watch him skate and you go, he's an incredible skater. And we didn't even get to see him healthy last year. So I look at it, we got a guy that can be our best two-way centerman, a guy that can take key draws. If he can be that guy in the power play to win the faceoff, our faceoff percentage on the power play I think was 44%, which it's a big deal if you can win the opening faceoff on the power play. So we were looking at that as being a big plus. So there's lots of areas, but penalty killing, he can be a top guy. Power play, he can be a top guy, and he's an elite skater.
The two guys who skated the most minutes in the NHL last year were guys who trained with Brian Gallman in the past. What kind of impact do you expect him to have in other guys?
He's got just a real good reputation with guys he's trained. I think we're fortunate to have him. I think he handles the players really well and understands. I think the key part is he understands hockey players. He understands how to push them. I think the guys really enjoy training for him. So his group is, I think his model is locked in for hockey players, where maybe other guys maybe haven't quite been locked in.